Okay, good afternoon, folks. I hope everyone is well. Hope everyone's had a great weekend. So, it is the 26th of August. Just looking at the overnight stuff. I don't know whether this is... there is a failure there. But this is working up there, so I'm going to have to give this a little bit of time.
Order submitted.
Hey Speedy, how you doing, bud? It's all right. I didn't know whether we're going to trap this long here. We're definitely finding some support there, but we are working up there, so it's interesting. But I think we're okay. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Let's have a look. This is interesting. Wow, that's big though, isn't it? Let's leave that for now. It's getting a bit congested there. Jay, how you doing? Took that fell second entry short, second entry long down here. That one there. There was one there. Yeah. I did look at that one. But I was sort of in and out at the time. It was a little bit early for me. So let's see how we get on to it anyway. But this could push up there. But we have found some support there. That NQ. We've had a leg down. We've had a break. Second entry, well, kind of a second entry short. Clearly two legs up there and a push down. So that clearly worked. That is kind of like a penguin style trade. But I left it at the time because at the moment I'm not trading the NQ. I haven't got an account to trade it at the moment. So I'm still looking at the NQ and trying to get to grips with it because I took a trade the other day and it worked out, on one contract, a $700 risk. So I'm still trying to get to grips with the NQ at the moment. So primarily this is what I'm trading at the moment. So let's have a look. So we had that push up, two legs. There was a second entry long there actually, or second entry long, higher low, and I'm pretty sure that was going to work. Another second entry long there. So far there's been a couple of trades there. I am a bit concerned, or I was a bit concerned, because obviously we're finding some support here. We pushed above it, crossed over, came back down. So you just don't know, do you? But it does seem to be like we're pushing up okay. So I'm going to leave that just for a minute. Yeah, little resistance, yeah. That worked fine, and that worked fine. Even if you take that up to the top, that ATR is quite high. You don't need to go far at the moment to get your points. So if you take that, I mean, you get to the tops, you're out for 2 points comfortably anyway. So I'm going to ditch that just at the minute, because if I look at that, it is clearly just working up. We've opened, we've dropped, and we've been working up since. And if we look back over the last few days, there's quite likely going to be a leg and a leg there. I like that. We got a leg up, a correction. So I think there's a fair chance that we could get up to these highs at the moment. So I'm just going to bring that over. I am looking at more and more of these bigger legs, and they really do work. Leg up, two legs back, a leg up, or correction, whatever you want to do it. But obviously on a bigger scale. Rodian, how you doing, my friend? What I'm on to? I know, yeah, 2 second entry. You know what? I looked at them, and I'm thinking, no, something can't be right there. That's the trouble. When you don't get a lot of trades, it's very easy to look at something like that and think, no, these are range tops, it's going to trap me. And then second entry long there. So, yeah, that's the trouble. When you don't get a massive amount of trade setups, it's very easy to sort of... I know, yeah, exactly. Something's not right here. I've got a good setup. That doesn't look right to me. Yeah, that's the trouble, isn't it? I mean, it fits lovely if you think about it. It fits perfectly. It fits perfectly the top, man. That's the trouble sometimes. You've got to get through these trust issues at times. That's interesting. A quick drop there. I do think there's a good chance that we get that other leg up So at the moment, we're working in this two-tiered channel. So let's see what happens here. Whether we get a second entry or something. But as you guys know, I'm more focusing on 2 legs rather than a second entry so much. More penguin style at the moment. I did mark in the Facebook group that those 2 trades I marked from Friday. The first one, I look back, I was just at the bathroom at the time, and the second one moved that quick I wouldn't have had a chance to get in. But they were both typically, as I, in my opinion, penguin style trades, and he took them both. Not only did he take them both of them were exactly the same tick for tick. So it, you know, that tells me that I'm thinking along the right lines. That's the important bit. So I've got 2 schools of thought here. There is a possibility that there may be a bit of a spike in channel. I'm not sure at the moment. But that one I wouldn't trade, because that to me is just a leg with a break. So I would think that would likely get stopped out. It might not. But as I've got my chart at the moment, that one looks like a trade that's going to get stopped out to me. Well, I say trade, it's not really a setup, but a bullish bar that's triggered. Whether this is a break or whether there is something slightly different here, it's a bit early to tell. Same again. We've had some sort of low volume overnight, really. Very little overnight again. Let's see what happens anyway. But if I look on the NQ, we've had a leg, a break, push down, a couple of legs up and a push down to a new low. And we've had a push up. This does look like we may get another leg up. And if we do, I guess this thing may pop up. But there's just nothing for me at the moment. The Facebook group, it's called I'll show you. And I'll pop a link on it. I kind of want to put everything here. You know, sometimes I make the odd videos when we have the odd discount, but I find them hard to do. I'm more hardware than software, so it's probably easy just to stick it all on a Facebook group so we can have our chit chat and all sorts of stuff. So I'll just show you. Interesting enough, if anybody hasn't seen it, that's it there. If anybody hasn't seen it, I put Mac's video on it. That's it there. The prop funded trader, the discount support, open chat as well. Whatever you want to say, doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's friendly, polite. If you've got a beef about if you've got a beef about a prop firm, whatever it is, you can put it on. I'm not, you know, sometimes I put comments on and on certain Facebook groups and they block them for some reason. You say anything about a Facebook group, as far as I'm concerned, this isn't a dictatorship we're living in. You know, you've got a right to say it as long as it's friendly. That's fine. But that's it there. But where's that video I put on there? Yeah, the 2 trades I put on, that was Penguins and that was mine. Now that one, sorry. What's going on? That one, why can I? Oh, that one I was at the bathroom at the time. And that one, I looked at it, but it dropped that quick. And then Penguin marked exactly the same, 17 ticks, 22 ticks. So that tells me 2 clear legs up, 2 clear legs up. I'm thinking along the right lines. But I put a video on here. Where was it? Mac's video. Where's it gone? Strange. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Where he talks about if you're going for a 3-point risk, taking 4 ticks is just, it doesn't work. So watch that. It's really interesting. If you haven't watched it, it was for 5 days ago. But he says if you're only trading 1 or 2 contracts and you're risking 3 points, don't go for 4 ticks. It just doesn't work. So that's it there. The prop funded trader. I'll put a how do I link it? Oh, here we go. Copy link. I'll put it on here. It says pending. Oh, okay. I'll have a look at it, mate. Paste. That's it there. Let me just have another look. What I don't want it to be one of those places where if you say something about something or about a certain company, it blocks you. As far as I'm concerned, as long as you're friendly and polite. Here we go. I've just seen you pop up there. Approve. There we go. Job done. I think you have to have the right to talk about something, especially if you've got money into something. Now that's interesting. Leg and a leg.
Order submitted.
My slight concern is if we've actually made a matching high. So I'm not sure whether to... No, I'm gonna have to sit out this one.
Order cancelled.
We've made we've had a break, if that channel is right, with a matching high. So as far as I'm concerned, that's as good as attempted for a new high. So getting into a trade here, it's not going to trigger, I don't think. Well, it may do, but let me look on the NQ. We got a leg up, 2 attempts to go lower. Is this going to push up? Possibly. At the moment, this NQ looks like it could come down a bit, and if it does, I think this is likely to. No, as long as you're frightened, as long as it's friendly, polite. I haven't got a problem with it. Say whatever you want, post whatever charts you want, whatever you want to do. You have to have the right to air your griefs if you've got some, because sometimes some of these companies, I'm not naming names, but I put comments on, or I've seen people put comments on, and it gets blocked straight away. That's unfair. That tells me you're trying to hide something. So break, matching high. So there is a possibility this still could be a range. Maybe not. I'm not sure just at the moment. Yeah, I think it's on. It's on a pending thing. But as soon as somebody asks, I get a bleep, and I'll just okay you. It's fine. But no, it's there really. Just for us to have a bit of a chit chat here or there. Trouble is, I tried to do a Discord, but loads of people got spam and that, so I'm not very technical when it comes to the software side of it. So Facebook's a bit more straightforward, isn't it? So break, matching high. So lower high. At the moment, I'm just sitting tight. I have a feeling, looking at this NQ, we've had a leg down with a break. 2 attempts to go lower. We've made a new low from there. We've pushed up and we've pushed down again. So I think there's a good chance this NQ could go a bit lower. Let's have a look. We could have another leg down to here. And if it does, this thing is likely to make a new high. So I'd say break, matching high is probably good enough. And this is the way down, I think. So I enjoyed my day off on Friday. Nice to have a day off now and again. Bought myself a lovely £50 bottle of 12-year-old Glenfarclas single malt from the whiskey shop in Chester. That was my treat for the day. The women I went with ended up buying face creams and all that sort of rubbish. But I thought I'd treat myself to a nice bottle of scotch. Let's have a look. Now this is interesting. So we got a leg down with a break. I still think at the moment this is looking like it's likely to come down some more. So I'm looking for 2 attempts to push higher here that fail, hopefully. Now, there is always a possibility of some type of other channel there. No, maybe not. It's a bit hard to tell here, but that's clearly working up that line. There's no argument. We've had a break and an attempt at a new high. We've had a matching high, so channel down. One attempt to go higher. We need another push up here.
Order submitted.
Let's just get an order early just in case. If have a look on that Facebook page, Clay, who's been trading for 4 years, posted a new strategy for the NQ, something he'd been looking at and playing around with it, which I found interesting. Have a look at it. It's a darker coloured chart, so he posted it, I think, was it late Friday or early Saturday? Have a look at that. That's interesting. I'm going to have a play around with that myself. I think it's good to have a couple of setups under your belt for sure. It's always good to have some extra strings to your bow. So channel down, first attempt to push higher. Let's see if we make another attempt. I think that's it. I think really we're low enough now, I think. Let's get rid of it.
Order cancelled.
Okay, excuse me just for a quick second. Sorry about that, folks. Looks like head and shoulders. That's a lot. Yeah, it does a bit. Oh dear. Okay, leg down. First attempt higher. We have technically made a new low, but after the break and the push down, nice to see that as well. Thomas Ways just put that on. Exactly the same as mine. Always helps when other people are looking at the same thing. Yeah, I've looked at trades like this before. It's just congested that. I'm just staying out of this stuff at the moment. See, on the NQ, we've had 2 legs down. We haven't come down right to the bottom of this, but we have got some support down here, and we've got a little break and a bounce and a new low, so this could go up. So I think at the moment, a short, in fact, 1, 2, 3, that could even be a triple test. 1, 2, 3. There's a possible triple test to go along there, so it depends how you look at this. There may be something slightly different. Let's just try it this way. So this could push up. It depends how you've got your chart. I'm a bit on the fence at the moment, so I'm just sort of staying out of everything. But looking at this, 1, 2, 3 attempts to push lower. This could go up, but I got mixed feelings here, so sitting and waiting time. It is 2 attempts up, but for a penguin trade, really, if you took that, you really want to be out the bottom, and there's not enough room for 1-to-1, I don't think. And as I say, this could go up. It's always possible. There would be 1-to-1, so that would probably work, actually, but there's a lot of support along there, so yeah, it clearly worked. So 2 legs up. You took that long, that one there, did you? Yeah, to be honest with you, it is a triple test, but it depends how you've got this. I'm a bit unsure about this, so if you're unsure about it, best thing to do is just to stay out. I've got it like this, which is a break matching high, but I have sort of tried to sort of do something like that. I'm not sure whether there's something like that, so could be 2 legs down and along, but I think the best thing to think about this, if you're not sure, stay out of it. Ordinarily, that and that wouldn't be a terrible penguin trade, but I'm just on the fence as to what I'm seeing at the moment. Another thing that would stop me going along there is we're right at the bottom of this NQ. You can see there's support there. We've had a little bounce there. We've almost had 2 legs down. In fact, if I clean that up, we're not far off 2 legs, so there is a bit of support here. So going long here just at the moment, and not only that, to go long, you got 4 bars side by side there. So as like it kind of looks like it is, it's just a bit unclear as to what's going on. Yeah, I mean, if you ever do take these trades and they fail, don't beat yourself up. This is a learning experience. I used to beat myself up all the time, terribly. I mean, literally, I've even smacked myself in the face before, as stupid as it sounds, just out of pure frustration, but it just doesn't work. I broke a monitor a year and a half ago. give that a couple of thumps and threw it out the window. So I've just given up doing all this, doing that type of frustration. I just try, and the best way to look at it is if you've done something wrong or something's not worked, just learn from it. It's how you do. You will automatically learn from it anyway, but what I try and do now is if I have a bad day, I sit downstairs in the evening, by myself later in the evening, pour myself a nice single malt, and I put my feet up and I just think, okay, what did I do wrong? What did I do right? And then learn from it. You do learn from it after a while, all the frustrating and the kicking out and, stuff like that. It doesn't really work. It's a bit late. I would probably have taken triple test 2. Yeah, the reason I sort of wouldn't have done is, one, I'm looking more penguin, 2 legs up, but it is a bit congested here, and I'm on 2 minds because I kind of think there's always a possibility that there may be some different type of channel here, maybe a spiking channel. I don't. There is, but at the time I'm thinking, is there? So is this like a leg, a break, and a bounce, and we're going to push up? But what I can say is I'm a little bit unsure, and I think the best conclusion is when you're unsure about it, do nothing. And then, hey, Jan, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, just do nothing. One thing you can guarantee about doing nothing is you're never going to lose a penny. Never be afraid to take a trade. I used to stress the hell out of me missing a trade, but it does not bother me in the slightest now. It's amazing how you change. Your attitude towards things change as you kind of move on. So 2 legs. We've got a leg down there, 2 legs up, and it's kind of off this, which I don't think that's bad. So we got another leg down. So I think now what I'm seeing here, I don't foresee now another push up. I think this is probably going to go down some more. The only thing that would make me think it might not is this NQ. Leg. So I don't know. So leg down, 2 attempts to go higher. And down. I don't know what was the risk on that. 12 ticks. Maybe 13. Leg down, 2 attempts higher. Right, we haven't got quite to the bottom here. So I'm always wary about going short. Sometimes that leads to a break. But it's only the first time, and we're not a million miles away, so it may be okay. But we are bouncing a little bit there on the bottom of that NQ. So we are finding a little bit of support there. And if the NQ goes up, this thing isn't going to go down. This does look like it could go down some more actually now. So maybe a second entry short. Well, leg down, 2 attempts to go higher. Might not be terrible here.
Order submitted.
But we have come away from this a little bit, so I would prefer a better correction. Oh, look at that. That's come down quick. It's going to be too late to get in there, I think. Come on, get me. Leg down, 2 attempts to go higher, bearish bar. It's already come down by about 10 ticks, 2.5 points now. It's a bit late for me. Did move a bit too fast, isn't it? I was looking at that. I was drawing that channel. Oh, that's a shame because that would have been lovely.
Order cancelled.
I was drawing more of a spike in a channel at the time. I think that's probably a little bit more like a spike in channel, I think. But yeah, it clearly worked. Second entry short, leg down, 2 attempts to go higher. Penguin style trade as well. I think he'd probably take that. Funny enough, I've just had a bleep on my watch for Penguin, so whether he's just taken that or not. So that clearly worked out for the bottoms. Channel down, 2 attempts to push higher, bearish bar, and that worked. Yeah, it worked quick, didn't it? Good trades, I think. Good setups do work quick because every man and his dog jumps on them. I very nearly went for the sell button, but it was down here at the time, so I managed to control myself. That's the issue, really. When you see something that good, if you can't do this, which takes a valuable second or two, you've got the option to buy or sell. But my experience with those is I tend to do those. Emotions tend to push me to hit those, and I'm trying to stop doing that, really. Trouble is, it moved pretty quick. I could have got in down here, so I could have got stung for about 5 points. So yeah, sometimes the best thing to do is just if you can't get in, just let it go. Better than missing a trade, jumping in too late and getting stung for a big amount. Very similar, I think, really. We got a bit of a spike and a channel there, spike down and a channel. So that worked beautifully. As soon as we hit the bottom, big push up. Yeah, someone else has seen a spike and channel, so that's good enough for me. I must get these orders in ready if I think something's going to happen, because they do move that quick sometimes. It's a shame to miss them if you can help it. So that clearly went down for 4 points, no problem. You'd have been in and out quick, I think. There is a failure there, trapping along, which is interesting.
Order submitted.
It's that bloody big, though. Oh, shit. Like the way, trying to go one strike away twice, trapping some longs there. Big bearish bar. It bounced off them. It's just too big now. It's gone down too far, really.
Order cancelled.
Which is a shame. It's a little bit sideways, I think, now. Yeah, I was just going to say that. It's just gone a little bit sideways. I've put that line there. it is going a bit sideways. It's still working off here, so that's interesting. But that, if it closed there, that wouldn't be too bad. At least you've got a bit of distance, but it's down to the middle line now, so you don't really want to get in right down there, I don't think. It's definitely a failure. Trap in some longs. There's 2 bull bars there. There's probably still going to be people thinking this thing may go, may push up. Possible second entry short here if that looks okay. I don't think will be terrible. Still down at the bottoms, which is good. So there's a higher low there. Let's see if that triggers, which would possibly be a lower high. I've been in these lower highs before, sometimes when it goes down across. I don't know if you guys remember me talking about this. Got caught out a couple of times, and I said next time I remember it, let's call it down across lower high. We haven't triggered that bar. I don't know if you remember me talking about it, down across lower high. But it hasn't triggered that. Triple test, yeah, 1, 2, 3. It kind of is a triple test. That stem bothers me, and the fact that it's bouncing off that midline. But my concern is it is going a little bit sideways now. So second entry short there, looks nice. Clearly pushed down below there, so that would have worked. Although I didn't like the stem, and it'd gone a bit too far for me. It was about 14 ticks or something ridiculous, wasn't it? That looks kind of nice now, doesn't it? 2 clear leg down, 2 clear legs up, nice bearish bar. Worked beautifully. That's fine. I mean, if you miss them, it's fine. We only missed it because it was moving quick, but it's spotted them's the important bit. If they move quickly, sometimes you just can't get in. It's just the way life is. But spotted them's the important part is. So that one was clearly nice. I don't think that was terrible. But I'd have preferred that to close there instead of having that wick. And then out for the bottom, a couple of points. So, but we often get this, don't we? We get leg down like that, and then another leg out, kind of a mirror image. So maybe we can put that back there now. Touch, 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 touch. I'm not too bothered about that, but so where's this likely to go? Well, up and down. It is kind of like someone mentioned that head and shoulders, shoulder, head, shoulder. And we've had that push, I think. Gap filled. Has anybody noticed the gaps on these bars? Are they these fair value gaps, so to speak? There's one there. I am paying more attention to this. There's one there, isn't there? Down across to the light. There's one there. Bit lower, isn't there? And there's another one there. It's fitting nice at the bottom. That's good. Measured leg is there. We're only a quick few ticks away from that, so. Perfect, right to the tick, lovely. Oh, that's interesting. Incidentally, that offer finishes tomorrow. I kind of hope they extend it. I'll be surprised if they don't. But 80% off, whatever it is. It's on here anyway. You guys can see that. Just be careful you don't get caught out with the 150, 250, and 300. It was, the evaluations were down to $40, but they're not. There's 80% off. I've heard of a couple of people accidentally buying them. Not you guys, just others, and forgetting that it's gone back up to 80% off for the. But what I like, and I've picked up another one myself this morning. Friday. Another evaluation. What is going on? I like the price. The $85. Nice. Okay. I like the $85 lifetime license. So that finishes tomorrow. I think it's midnight tomorrow. So yeah, Thomas Wade's just changed his chart now to the same as mine. When did he do that? 13 right now. So he's adapted that as well, which makes me fills me full of nice, shiny, happy thoughts. So touch, clearly touching, fitting beautifully at the bottom, little drop out there, so little overshoot, 2 legs down. So I think it's going to be a possible break here. Maybe a small overshoot. Non-of Apex would increase the minimum withdrawal from 3 months. Well, it's funny you should ask that. We did. I don't know if you remember a couple of months ago, there was a vote, wasn't there? They're on about making, I can't remember what the vote was now. They're on about making payments more immediate because there are other prop firms now having quick payments. You don't have to wait to twice a month. So I think the good thing about having these, you're still for the new, yeah. I think having all these prop firms popping up creates competition and makes life better for us, makes things cheaper. So yeah, they did. There was a few things I heard. They shut down the accounts over the weekend, so you wouldn't be able to log into our trader over the weekend because they were updating settings. And we had the votes about what were they? There was only because I think if you want to get a second payment in the month, you've got to trade for 10 days, which means you've got to trade every day. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't always get a trade in every day. I probably only trade 7 days out of 10, so I'm not able really, if I had enough in my accounts, to be able to take a second payment. So they're on about reducing that, I think, to 6 days. And they're on about changing the payment structure so that you could, almost get a withdrawal whenever you want. So I'm assuming they're it'd be nice to get a little bit of feedback that we haven't forgotten this thing's going on, because we've not heard much from Daryl Martin. We had a video from a few days ago about these new offers, but we haven't been really updated much about these rules that are supposed to be changing, or hopefully changing. In fact, there may not be a... I've just tightened that there. There may not be an overshoot. So, yeah, it'd be nice to get an update, really. We're kind of in limbo land, really. But what I will say is if these other companies coming out with these offers are quite attractive, and I think, really, Apex are probably going to lose 1 or 2 customers, so I think it'd be important for them to just show the face a little bit and say, you know, we're working on updating this, that, and the other. Top step is removing DL from daily loss limit. Are they really? I think top step, have I tried top step? I might have tried one top step before. Daily loss, yeah. There is one company, I can't remember who it is, but they've got a daily loss limit, and if you hit it, you actually lose your account. It's not promoted very cleanly, in my opinion, that. I don't know whether it's Top Step or whether it's some other company, but they've got this daily loss limit, and if you hit it, that's it, you're done. They don't have trailing drawdown. Take profit. Okay, that rings a bell. Yeah, take profit. It's not very clear, that, is it? Because every other company, they've got the daily, they just shut you out for the following day. I know my funded futures do it. They just shut you out for I think that's a sensible idea. I think you've got to, I mean, if you're losing, you know, $1,000 in a day, or whatever, $1,100 it is, I think it's a reasonable request that really that you probably, it's probably time to give up for the day. So I like the fact that they do drop those in, because it does stop you from blowing it in the day. At least it gives you a second crack of the whip. But I do like the fact that we're having all this competition, because it's only going to make our lives better. $1,000 loss limit for a day, but you didn't lose. Yeah, it was definitely take profit. Yeah, I looked at those. Somebody mentioned those last week, and I eventually looked. I think it was Thursday or Friday. But yeah, it just concerns me that. The trouble is, when you look at all these, because a lot of their rules are very similar, it's hard to remember exactly who does what, because there's quite a lot. There's quite a lot coming out. Don't get me wrong, I love Apex. I like the 20 accounts. I feel quite comfortable with Apex, because it's all I've really known for the last 18 months. But there's 2 things I hope Apex do. They change the payment structure so you can get a payment anytime and within, say, 48 hours. I think that would serve them good. Which is one. And what was the other thing I was thinking of? I'd like to stop. I can't remember now. It'll come to me. There was a couple of things I thought Apex were... Stop that video request for traders. Must have stopped. Yeah, I don't agree with that one. Look, if you've traded for 2 months and you've got a payment, the whole idea of trading for a period of time is to show a company that you can consistently do it. Now, look, you know, we can all have a good month. We can all have a good couple of months, but I don't think it's fair to say, okay, prove you made money. Well, hold on a minute. I've made money. Isn't that proof enough? You've already got your things in place to stop me from making a huge amount of money. They've got that consistency rule. That stops someone getting lucky and then trading micros. There's enough rules there so you don't have to prove it. For me, that's just another way of trying to hold on to your profit, of trying to hold on to your capital. You've got to be fair to traders. You know, you can't make money consistently for a month or two. Complete luck. It just doesn't quite work that way. But the trouble is, you start doing stuff like that, traders are going to get pissed off, and they'll start moving in the end. There's that much competition out there now. There's plenty of places you can go. So yeah, the rules they've already got, the consistency rule, you know, 30%. You can't make a big windfall and then, you know. So yeah, there's a couple of things. I think. I wouldn't be surprised if we heard from them soon and they're going to improve things, because Apex held the top spot, in my opinion, for a while, and I think it's fallen by the wayside a bit. One, I think there was a few traders cheesed off a little bit about the rule implement. I think it would have been better if they'd have said, end of the month, beginning of the next month, we're going to start playing. You got to play by the rules. I think that would have gone down better. So to compete in this business, you've got to constantly be up to date. You've got to keep your customers happy, let them know what's going on. So I'm just going to bin that for now. I would have said what I think we're probably looking at is more ranging at the moment. Do you know what? I got up this morning and I was browsing on YouTube and I saw this video that said live, and it was something about the German economy, said there's real financial problems with the German economy, so I sold all my crypto and then realised it was about 2 months old. So, things we do, eh? Let's have a look. What's Bitcoin doing now? It's just under, well, just above 63,000. Okay, it does look like it's range at the moment. I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break, folks. I'm a bit dry in the mouth. I'm going to make a cup of tea. Be back in about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so let's have a look at this leg down. One attempt to go higher. Straight up here and then a drop. No way in really on my chart. Channel up and then straight down. Maybe a small overshoot there. Shame about that, actually. Two clear legs up, bearish bar. It's actually quite a nice looking trade there. It's a shame it moved over that quick. Yeah, it's all right. I've just seen your comment there, Jay. I think they were on about only making it for 2 months, weren't they? You're capped on what you can withdraw for 2 months. After that, I think it's unlimited. I think that's what they were talking about. So they've got to do something, Apex. These are the companies that are coming out. Fast Track Trader, Take Profit Trade, and My Funny Futures. They're all offering really attractive opportunities, and I think they're going to have to update something, otherwise they may start to lose a few. So possible small overshoot there, so I'm a bit on the fence here. Channel down, one attempt to go higher. Yeah, Thomas Wade's got that on his chart as well. He's just put that up. A small overshoot. So, do you understand Clay Lee's setup? Not by looking at the chart. I had to go back and read it a couple of times. But yeah, I kind of get what he's saying. Go back and read it a couple of times. But yeah, I kind of get what he's saying. Trouble is, you can't sit at these charts every day and not notice certain things happening. That sort of thing I looked at the other, I don't know, a few months ago when we got a tight, like a double channel like this, a really tight channel. When we push up and we get a bearish bar like that, if you just buy, they're nice. Well, I consider that as a double width channel, slightly wider than something like that. Enough for 2 bars. We push up, we got a bearish bar. If you just buy there, 2-point risk, 2-point profit. There's your risk, there's your profit. Comes over, drops a little bit, pushes up, there's your 2 points. So you can't help but notice certain things, and I think that's what he's done. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, I still can't get that app to work. That news thing. It's on this chart at the moment. It's showing on here. 1 minute it shows, next minute it doesn't. I think that's okay to widen there. It looks okay there as well on the NQ. So is this thing going to continue down? That is the question. I'd expect a bit of a correction at some point. It's a lot of support right around where that is now. You can see it. You can see it here. There, you can see it along there. So I'd expect a correction, I think. Sorry if you can hear barking in the background. So overnight lows, I'd expect a bouncy or a correction or something. So we made a new low there. Oh, hello. So that to me looks like an overshoot now. just nothing we can really do here. It's hard to know whether this thing's going to push up, continue down, or whether we're going to push higher. It's hard to say. We've cleared out this area anyway. Could this go down some more? I suppose it could do. Yeah, there's no reason why overshoot, pull back, this thing couldn't drop even more. And a limit buy order at 56.32. Yeah, it depends how you look at the chart, see, doesn't it? We're clearly going a bit sideways here. You'd think there'd be a good chance we'd have a break. There's so many different ways to look at trade, isn't there? We've clearly got some resistance down here. Overshoot. It's hard to say. You'd certainly expect it wouldn't go down much further without at least having a pullback here. So, trouble is, when you're seeing these charts every day and you're seeing this move, it's very hard not to sort of have a good idea and a gut feeling where it's going. And sometimes, is it a bad thing thinking this to me looks like it's going up? Let's take a contract here. I don't think it's a bad thing. As long as, I think it's okay to do, as long as if it goes wrong, you don't take it personally. That's where I always found that the sort of line in the sand for me. If I took a trade sort of on gut feeling and it went wrong, I used to kind of beat myself up. But if you're okay if it goes wrong, then I don't think it's a problem. All these strategies don't come to us, printed on a tablet from 1,000 years ago. They're obviously, they're setups and strategies that have come around from traders spending time sat in front of the charts. So just because something's called a strategy, doesn't mean it's set in stone. People come out with new strategies and new ways of trading the market every day. And I think if you try something new or different or something on gut feeling, as long as you can take it on the chin if it goes wrong, I don't think there's a problem with it. So, leg down, one attempt to go higher. Now, I'm a bit careful with going short here. It would have to look right because after there's quite a nice fitting channel there and it's a clear overshoot, so this thing could shoot up for a bit. So let's have a look. The last few days, really, or the last week, let's say, it's really just going sideways, I think, isn't it? Is the bigger picture. So we kind of had a leg and a leg. We could have a steeper pullback. This thing could come down some more. It certainly could come down to these areas here. So let's have a look. Channel break, new high. See, looking on this NQ, this leg up looks like the type of thing that's going to have another leg up. Leg and a leg. So I think this thing may come up here a little bit. Channel break, new high. I think a short here could be dangerous. This thing looks like it's going down, up, so it's a little bit congested. Push up sideways. I think it's likely we're going to get another leg up. I could be wrong, but it's enough to keep me out of thinking about shorts. We've got a channel down, one attempt to go higher at the moment. There's a failure stroke higher low after the overshoot on the NQ. Push sideways, push, so I won't be surprised if this goes up. Thing is, it's bearish at the moment, so taking a long for me, even if I was trading more pats, I just wouldn't do it after that. Such a bearish move. I'm not saying it isn't going to work, but okay. That second entry short triggered stopped out. You get one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, bounce off the overnight lows, maybe another way down. Could this thing be stretched? Let's have a look. It actually could be, because for me, that is working lovely along that center line there. So this just could be a two-tiered channel. It's using the top of that, the sort of the top half of that, sorry, the top of the center line there quite nicely, and then straight down to the bottom. So leg and a leg. If I was going to short here, I prefer it to be closer to that line, just in case it triggers you and pushes up. It's a leg and a smaller leg, so I'm just not ready to go short just yet. I prefer another leg, similar size, to test the overnight lows. It's only a small risk, and you certainly got 1-to-1, I think. But for me, it's just a sit and waiting game. See, I kind of like that. If we can push up to there and then drop. We got one leg up. It is 2 attempts, but that is a bit of a stubby sideways attempt at going higher for me. So I'll be concerned that would get trapped. It is working. So if you took that, your knees might be knocking now. It is a failure. And after that overshoot, you may expect another leg up, but I'm not a fan of this stuff at the moment. If you did take that, you're kind of stuck into that's a 5-point risk in it, maybe a little bit less if you squeeze it. It's just too much risk to go long there, really. So that little bearish bar there did work. It did trap there, that big bullish bar there. But if I'm going to look at this as a penguin style trader leg back, I prefer something that looks a little bit more like another leg up. There's a leg for me. It's a little bit short and stubby there, so I'll be inclined to probably just leave that. So I'm on the fence about this. I don't mind, because what I like about it is it's working off that midline beautifully. So maybe there is like a two-tiered channel there. It's hard to say. Has anybody else got anything like that? Not yet, but I think somebody may do, because to me it looks too good to ignore, I think. Okay, this would more be a second leg for me. I'd like to test this underside of the overnight lows. One leg up sideways, second leg up. Test the overnight lows, a little push above there, touch that measured leg, drop down, close underneath it. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. Still not enough of a leg up for me, this really, although it is trapping some longs there. If there is, let's think about this. So maybe a failure there to push up. Just not a massive fan at the moment. Let me have a look. One leg, two legs, maybe okay. I think I'm just going to sit out of this at the minute. I prefer that to go a little bit higher, just to give me that little bit of confidence. playing the wider 2 instead of the overshoot. He's not at the moment. He's just put that on there. So he's keeping it the overshoot at the moment. But that's okay. It's good to have different opinions. The reason I like it is because it's sitting lovely off that midline. It's fitting perfectly off that midline. So for me, it could be a 2-tiered channel. It does happen sometimes, but let's see what happens here. I'm still not taking that at the moment because that EMA is quite flat. It may work just to the bottom, but I prefer it out the top. It's still in that little range at the moment, so leg up, sideways, leg up. If we can get something bearish there, then that I may have a go at. So he's got it at the moment as an overshoot. Now, you'll hear him say a lot, whenever we get an overshoot, we get a deeper correction. So if we can get up here, touch here, and then end up bearish, I'll have a go at that. That one triggered by a tick. So I want that one stopped out. And then to come back down a bit. You could say 1, 2, 3. We've made 3 attempts to push higher. But taking that short there would still be in the middle of that little bit of sideways stuff. So it's a bit no just for me at the moment. I want to go a bit higher. So there may be something slightly wider, and that's interesting because if it is going to bounce there, second entry long, but at the moment I'm just sort of sitting tight. As far as I'm concerned, we're still bearish at the moment until something tells me otherwise, really. I want this to go a bit higher, take out that stop, and then give us something bearish around about the overnight lows. And that will be better for me. It does look like that's going to push up, but there's always a possibility after the overshoot that we have a full out reversal. It's possible. I don't think we will. Oh, Taylor's in a trade there. I think he's going to get caught out there. Taylor's in a short there. I think that's a risky trade, personally. It's going to be a ton of what's it wrong there, so liquidity there and there. It's got to make at least another leg or a slightly deeper correction or test the underline. It's just too risky there. It may all, but I feel it won't. No, so he's in there and out there pretty quick. He's taking it right into that set line. He makes flat as a pancake. It's clearly a bit of a sideways there, and you're coming short right into that midline. This line is really nice. Yeah, the thing is, I get both schools of thought. It can be an overshoot as well. I get it both. I get both ways. I don't necessarily disagree with him, but for me, the way it's working along that midline, I'd think there's a fair chance it could be a two-tiered channel. I know a lot of people sometimes say, well, there's nothing in there. Well, maybe there isn't. Let's see.
Order submitted.
I could be reading it completely wrong. So we are now testing the overnight lows. And we have got 2 measured legs now, near enough to the tick. So channel down, 2 attempts to push higher. Let's see what happens here. It's also a bit too far. No, I'm just going to sit tight just at the minute, yeah. Yeah, a few people took that one and got stuck. It's just too risky, that is. You can clearly see it's going sideways, and you're right into the midline. You've got nothing there, really. We got a leg up sideways. We often get another leg up, which is kind of like a mirror image. It may work, that, but it's just a little bit risky for me. Could do it pushing it down there. If it does push below that EMA, that may interest me. I know a lot of Penguins trades where he takes when it does push strongly through that EMA, and as long as you've got enough room, some of his are quite big risks, but as long as you've got enough room to get out from the low, so even if it gets down there, it's only 17 ticks, there's still plenty of room. You could even take that a bit lower, really. There's loads of room to the lows. So for me, this needs to have a strong push below that EMA, indicating we're likely to push down. And if we push down, second entry long, there may be some long stops there, probably and some there and there, and I figure that is likely to probably get down to at least there anyway. But looking at that NQ, that NQ has got a bit of an uptrend. So I'm just not sure about this channel here. This is a little bit more. It's a bit more hard to read, this one. This kind of fits a bit more. So there may be a lower high there. Still not taking it. I want that push through that EMA, really, before I think about getting in. While it's sort of above that EMA or maybe bouncing, I want that push through, really. And we haven't quite made that measured leg there. I'd like to trap that long as well. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Measured moves played out now. Leg. Testing the overnight lows. Measured move played out.
Order submitted.
Okay, I'm in here. Leg and a leg. Bearish bar, push below that EMA. I prefer it to drop a bit below there. I'd feel a little bit more settled if we did, but so it's not bad. I mean, it's quite a large thing, but it's still only $225 risk, so it's not terrible. We need to get below there, really. I mean, it is a nice measured move, so that's good. We'll see. It is what it is anyway. I'm adjusting to move over, so it's something I've got. The only thing that concerns me a bit is this little push up here out of that NQ, so we'll see. Once we get below there, I'll be a little bit more comfortable then. Once we get below there, that should eke out any stops there. Clearly 2 legs up. I'm quite confident anyway. Clearly 2 legs up. Big bearish bar. Strong push down. It's got to clear these off for me. It's broke below there. That's the main thing. I don't mind a pullback. When you're going for these slightly bigger moves, 18 ticks, it's likely you're going to get one. And it's kind of like a little tight channel with a bullish bar. Often that's that trade I was just looking at. You'd sell there and drop short. So I think that's okay. Leg down a little bit lower. I think that's going to be fine. I don't mind that triggering. If this ends up bearish, I'll put that to break even, I think. there's going to be liquidity there, there, and there. So if it breaks below there, I think it'll hit that pretty quick. I'm just going to leave it where it is. I've got a little bit of concern about this NQ. Let's just leave it. Yeah, that NQ's pushing up his I've got to just put it in and just leave it, really. It's the only way it's going to work. Yeah, just looking at that NQ pushing up. We'll see. We weren't far off, really. Shame. Second entry long. I've had me 2 legs in it. I've just really got to let it go. I could get out for break even, or I could try and get out for break even. Small channel there with a break.
Order filled.
Okay, I'm out. It's probably going to work, but let's see if it works. Sometimes I think you've just got to leave it. What I will say, we've had 2 clear legs up and a push down. We got very close there. It does look like it's going to work in the end, but it happens, don't it? Typically, as soon as you get out, it works. Well, we're not out yet, but I think it will do. Leg and a leg. I should have just left it. But that's fine. At least I haven't lost anything anyway. Leg and a leg. Sometimes, though, when you go for these slightly larger moves, you do get a pullback, and often it kind of spooks you. But I'm out for a tick anyway, so there we go. You have a regular job, pay the bills at the moment. Keep your psychology relaxed about trading. I do work some weekends. I make some money off YouTube and some off the affiliates. That helps as well. So yeah, I'm kind of okay at the moment. I've just turned 55, so I've took a chunk of my pension. So I've took a piece of it. So I have got £60,000 in the bank as well. So we're okay at the moment. I got money in some crypto as well. So yeah, I'm not concerned about money. To be fair, it's not bothering me really. To be honest with you, there's no stress about the money anyway. Specifically, look, I mean, that's quite a strong push down, isn't it? So, but there is a bit of support there, but I think that's probably going to work. I do keep saying about leaving these things, but getting out for break even, look at that, we're a tick off there. It's broke below there. I think it's going to work to play the lows, but that's fine anyway. That's fine. It's all part of the Paul. Good content. Thanks, Paul. Where are you from anyway, bud? Where are you? You don't get many US Pauls, I don't think, do you? Do you get many? Is Paul an American name? Is it? You don't tend to... I'd say you're probably UK, aren't you? So we're a tick out there. That's a shame. Oh, you are US. Okay. So I very rarely hear the name Paul in the US. Very rarely. But it's quite a common UK name. But we've broken, strangely enough, we've broken below any broken before these 3 lows here, so that may end up pushing up anyway. So I'm out anyway, that's the main thing. So I was out for a tick. It is what it is anyway. I think the bit that got me concerned is looking at this let's have a look at this. Looking at this NQ, looks like it's trying to move up. We've got 2 legs back here, but whether you see that as an overshoot, it's a bit hard, isn't it? Let's have a look. Not sure about this. 2 legs back. That's the trouble, really. Sometimes having the NQ on there, sort of, and you see something slightly different, it might change the way you look at something. But let's have a look. So we've got a channel down here, haven't we? 1 leg up, 2 legs up, bearish bar, triggers along, pulled down. Just short of that. So I'm kind of glad I got out now, because this is the second time it's pulling up, but it might not be an issue anyway. Sometimes these trades take a bit of time. We could end up doing something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. So sometimes these things are just destined to work. You put them in and you leave them. Sometimes, with Max, a lot of the time, that first push, you're out with 2 points. I'm going for what? 6, there's 4. There's 4.5 points there. So a lot of times with these penguin style trades, you do get a pullback. You may even get 2. This may have been a second one, but it may continue to work. So I think really I'm only trading 1 contract. The risk was only about $230, so it wasn't a big risk. Normally, the last 2.5 years I've been trading 2 contracts, so $200 risk doesn't stress me in the slightest. Mindset for trading that needs well relaxed. I do have my moments, mate. I do have my moments, but I've been trading over 3.5 years now, and at the moment I've got 5 accounts. I have had more, and I've blown more as well, but 5 accounts, really, 5 PAs really don't stress me. They really don't. I feel quite relaxed. And I think the more you do this, sometimes when you fail, sooner or later, your mind just gives up worrying, I think. Let's see if that one would have worked in the end. I think it probably will. But it's definitely 2 legs up, right to the tick, perfect measured leg. This to me does look like a 2-tiered channel. It's clearly working along the midline nicely, and then we slice straight through it. 2 legs up, and we've also bounced off the overnight lows, so I think there's a good chance this is going to come down. But it's just weird. I think what I may have got back out that second time because that bar there broke below any bullish bars here and then started to push up. So when that started to push up, if I didn't get out there, I'd have probably got out here somewhere. But it does look like we may just be getting another channel. There's always that possibility. This channel could be more like that. I think it... Where's this come to? Yeah, I actually like that. I think that works fine for me. 1 leg down. I think there's a good chance we get a second leg down. Let's have a look. We have been more or less going sideways for the last week. So we've got this level, and we've certainly got this level down. So this could be a leg, couple of legs of correction, and another leg. So I think there's a fair chance we can get down here. And this, to me, is clearly struggling to get up. Whether it'll break this level or not remains to be seen, but we are clearly looping down, aren't we? 5 PAs. Yeah, well, to be fair, I had 20 at one point, and then it went down to 10. And I mean, if you look at Wilson now, Wilson's lost about 4 lots of 20s. Wilson's absolutely killing it. He's absolutely doing well. And there is a certain amount of stress involved now. If I think back to when I started doing PAs, I remember... evaluations. I remember having one evaluation and feeling like my neck was in a vice. I was that stressed. I was grinding me teeth. My jaw was aching. I was getting headaches. My neck was stiff. And that was just with an evaluation. Now, I'm trading 5 PA accounts here and I'm completely relaxed. And I think in time... it kind of has less and less and less of an effect on you. I'm kind of glad I got out there as well. Look at this this NQ. This NQ does look like it's pushing up. So I think it's hard to say. Wilson seems to have a flexible target. It's funny you should say that. When I first started streaming, that's how I was taking my profits. I wasn't coming out at a fixed place. I was bringing my order down here, and when we got a push, I was bringing my stop down. And I think it's working for Wilson. It worked for me, but back then, that was 18 months ago, I think there was certainly a lot of luck. If I look back on those trades now, some of those trades were questionable anyway. But if you get a really good move, they do work. They really push down. What was the trade we were looking at here? That one there. That initial push down there went for, what did it go for? So it went for 4 points, but it never came back to the top. So after that big push down, you could have picked up 7 or 8 points. So good setups comfortably work. So we got a leg down, 2 more attempts to go higher. Second entry short. Maybe we get another option here. Let's have a look.
Order submitted.
Let's see how this finishes. I like the fact that there's longs in there, I'd say. So we've had a channel with a break and a new high, so that's played out on the NQ. So I think there's a possibility now this could come down. So let's have a look here. But this needs to push comfortably below that EMA. Channel down. 1 attempt to go higher. Second attempt to go higher. Also a second entry short. We are testing that overnight lows. So I don't think this is that bad, but I need this bar to finish. Yeah, he's doing all right, Wilson is now. But he's earned it. he's lost, you know, he's lost lots of account. He's had to go through all that punishment like we all do. And he's lost, I think, about 4 lots of 20 accounts. So we all kind of know what he feels like. So let's see if this comes and gets me. In fact, I'm going to put that there. Leg down, 2 attempts to push higher. I think this is going to come down now. 14 ticks out before the lows. Second entry short. Come back and get me. It's too late now.
Order cancelled.
It had gone too far, really. I didn't want to get in there down here. I want to be out by these lows, really. Or is that bounced? 14 ticks, won it? It still may not have taken you out. Like the second one, we're a couple of ticks off. I think it will, though. So channel down, break, 2 pushes down to... I could still try and get in here if I wanted to. We haven't hit the target yet. Tell a lie, that needs to come up a little bit. 15 ticks. My only slight concern now is this is starting to look a bit sideways. I'm going to get rid of this because we know it's on that midline anyway. Let's have a look at this. So we've got a channel break, 2 legs back, 2 pushes up to a new high. So let's see if this bullish bar triggers on the NQ. So let's see if this initial trade would have worked. I think after this and those 2 pushes up, I think it's likely to, but there is a lot of support down here. Okay, so the initial trade original trade would have worked. I should have just left it. Sometimes it's getting used to spending that amount of time in a trade, but that clearly worked beautifully. It came pushed down below the EMA. I got in there, 2 legs, 1 leg, 2 legs up. Clearly worked beautifully. I had another 2 attempts to push higher, even better. So that trade there for 18 ticks would have worked beautifully. I think I've got to just leave it. I did one the other day. I came out for it and it worked beautifully. Second one I decided to stay in and it took me out. So I think the order of the day is I'm going to win way more trades leaving it be than taking it out. So I'm going to leave that there just for prosperity. Just to show me what I would have won. So clearly 2 legs up. So what do I think is going to happen? So we got a leg down with a correction. So I think now there's a good chance we could have another leg down, which would take us down to about this area, which is interesting. It's a bit hard to decide what to do here, because if that is a break, we could have a leg down, and this could push. I don't know, it's a bit on the fence as to know what to do here. Channel break, 2 legs down, 2 pushes up to a new high. It's kind of a breakout pullback, that. Traders who constantly mention like Wade or Wilson, even Mac, do any of them trade live? They don't, unfortunately, mate. None of them do. I suppose as close to live as you can get. Wilson, sorry, Thomas Wade. Oh, sorry, tell a lie. Wilson does. He didn't talk. He just does his chart, but you got to pay. I think it's about £60 a month to watch him. And I think there's about a waiting list. I think Thomas Wade constantly puts his chart here, and Taylor does. There you go. He's constantly putting chart, and Taylor is. Another one of his. Another one of Taylor's. So they're constantly posting their chart, so that kind of helps you. But but Wilson does. But I think I'm pretty sure it's about £65 to watch him. I think he didn't talk; he just trades. I think. So, channel down, one attempt to push high. You're welcome, mate. He's he kind of trades pats a little bit, but a lot of his setups aren't pats, Wilson. he does sort of a lot of first entries and lots of unusual failures, which I don't kind of get, but it works for him. So I think he's probably sort of found his own way of doing things, which I don't think is a bad thing. Correction. I think there's a good chance it's going to come down some more. We've got a channel down there and a nice correction. 2 attempts to go higher off the kind of overnight lows. So I think there's a good chance this is going to come down. It's just finding a good setup. I mean, if you look at that, where we've been bouncing there, clearly the overnight lows. We got a leg, break above it, then a push down below the EMA. We've made 2 more attempts to push higher, and it's we've bounced off those overnight lows. For me, this is coming down. Nice correction. I think this is probably the centre of the move, so I think there's a good chance we're going to come down some more. So, want another little push up. Channel down, 2 attempts to go higher. I think Thomas Wade's just posted that. So I think he's looking for the same. Couple of little legs and then down some more. We need a little push up. Kind of a failed second entry long. Channel down, 2 attempts high and a failure. That's it. Push up. Come on. Something. Oh, it's just going to get in the way, that is. Channel down. 1 attempt. We need to push up a little bit more. At least trap a bull bar there. And create a second entry short. 2 attempts higher. There is a failure, a long failure on that NQ. Just by a tick. So we may not even get up any higher. Oh, we may do. I'm just going to get an order ready just in case we get something that looks nice. Channel down, 1, 2 attempts to go higher. We need that to stay bullish and for it to tick above it. Channel down, 1 attempt to go higher. Oh, this is interesting. Let's see what happens here. What I will say is there's definitely liquidity above all this lot. So 2 pushes down. This could come up and clear all this. There may be a bit of a range. Hard to say at the moment. It's hard to say, really. There may be something there. I don't know.
Order cancelled.
Break. Attempted a new low, so I don't know. Could be a wider range here a little bit. Let's get rid of this. Little double top there.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Okay, let's have a go at this one. Channel down, 2 attempts to push higher.
Order failed.
Okay, for a quick, what did I get? 0.75. That'll do me. I ain't messing around. Quick 0.75. It's going a bit sideways there, but it is 2 attempts and a big, strong push down below that EMA, so I think that's okay. It's probably going to get lower, but it's very close to the lows now, so it's made attempts before and pushed back, but it's clearly a channel down there, 2 attempts, and it's a little double top there, big bearish bar straight below the EMA. And also, it's looking the same here. Channel down on the NQ, channel down, 2 pushes up, strong push below the EMA. So it's probably going to work, but I'd rather just get something out of it. So I'm up 100 times. That one's still showing, so let's just shut this down. And if you ever see that, this is telling me the accounts are all closed in Rhythmic. But if you ever see this still open, don't click close. Don't close the trade. Well, don't click close. Just disconnect it and then connect it again and it'll get rid of it. Otherwise, if you click close, it'll open you an opposite trade in Rhythmic. That's what a lot of people call these ghost orders, which get them into trouble. I've taken all the stuff off my chart at the moment. But you can clearly see those. There's no movement in the price. The price is fine. And also, there's no movement here. The trades are all closed down. And now I've closed it and reopened it. You can clearly see there's no trades there. Clearly that one worked as well. So 2 trades there I was in and both worked. So next time, from now on, I'm just going to have to leave these trades because they both work beautifully. It's because I'm still relatively newish to this, so it's fine. So that was, sorry, it was that one, wasn't it? I think it was about 18 ticks, I think. Let me think. Yeah, it was 18 ticks. So that one worked and that one worked. So what's that? 4.5 points. Is that right? 4.5 points. So that'd be 220. That'd be two. So I'd have been $450 up times 5. So I need to trust my decision making. Clearly 2 legs up, bearish bar, push through the EMA, jumped in there. Another 2 legs up and a push down. Another 2 legs up after a channel and a strong push below that EMA. I just need to trust my setups and get in. And I got something out of them anyway, so I got $100. But there you go. So let me just reset this. So it'd be interesting to see what Penguin makes of all this later. I'll look at his chart. So touch, break. However you think there's a break there. There, I think it's probably likely. So clearly worked. And the trouble is, the beauty is, you wait for a strong move down. We don't take that where it could potentially trigger us and stop us out. Same with that one. I don't jump in there where it could trigger us and stop us out. I wait for the push below the EMA, which then is a good indicator. We're going to push below and maybe get a pullback and continue down. Got that fell breakout NQ 30 points. Good on you, mate. So you went long there, did you? Let's have a look. So yeah. So really side was there, little breakout which failed. Often we get one the opposite end. Clearly 2 legs out, leg, break, 2 attempts to go lower. The short fell. This one there, did you? Up there or so. But both of these work beautifully. So it just goes to show I've got to trust because I'm still quite new to Penguin. I've been watching him on and off for a few years. Next one. Short. So was it this one or something? Was it, bud? Was it that one? That one there. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Channel down. 2 clear pushes up. Bearish bar. Clearly touching here. And you think there's a good chance after this it pushes out the other side. It often does. So I suppose I can forgive myself for getting out a bit early, because although I can read it, it is still quite choppy. And you can understand why people are thinking, what's going on here? But I mean, that's what I like about Penguin's strategy. It's no more complicated than 2 clear attempts. And the good thing is you don't get stuck in this stuff here. Like with max setup. Max setup's a little bit like microsurgery, whereas this, but you can clearly see 2 pushes up. And I didn't just take that because the stem, I waited for it to push below the EMA and jump in. And same with that one as well. I didn't just take this one and think this is coming down. I waited for it to push down below that EMA indicating, and I managed to get back in, managed to get in on an order. I got out early, but there you go. But you know, I'm just pleased I'm eyeing the right ones up. So that's 2 trades today. There was 2 trades Friday, which I clearly spotted, and he went exactly the same as well. So I'm definitely I'm firing in the right direction. That's the main thing. So is this thing just continuing on down now, is it? It may be something like that. It may be a bit of a spike in a channel. It's hard to say. Let's just leave it like that for now. I don't think we're going to be a million miles away. So that clearly worked. That clearly worked. And even that did as well. Leg down, 2 legs up. My only concern about going for something like that is we're right at that midline there, and there's not much room to the lows. So, but it clearly did what you'd think it was supposed to do. But, you know, I don't mind coming out these early and getting spooked by that one. That's fine. The fact is that they worked is more important to me. Thanks. Great stream. See you next time. Yeah, you take it easy, Jan. It's nice to get in, get your points and disappear if you can, for sure. Yeah. So I have been watching Penguin on and off for the last year or so I kind of know what he's about anyway. As I say, it's not too different from Mac. It really isn't. It's very, you know, it's clearly that really, if you did that on a 10,000 tick, well, let's have a look. Let's put on a 10,000 tick chart. It may just look like a second entry short. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Yeah, really, it's just a second entry short. Leg down, 2 attempts to push higher. It triggered above there by a couple of ticks, dropped straight down. So that worked. That a little bit different, but yeah, it's just a second entry short, really. But obviously on the 2000 tick chart, there's obviously a lot more in between. But if you can just block out that and just see the overall picture, 2 clear legs up, and it was a beautiful measured leg. I like the way it triggered above that bullish bar, and it did what it was supposed to. The little bit of side was in between, but that worked. And same again, channel down, second entry short, really, 2 clear legs to push up. But instead of taking that as technically the second entry short, I'll wait for that push below the EMA indicating that we are coming down. Because sometimes if you get in there, it'll trigger you, push up to these highs again and then come down. But if you wait for that initial push, it rules out getting trapped. So there's definitely less trap trades with Penguin style for sure. So what is going on here on my chart? It's moving itself. So whether this is a break or not remains to be seen. I feel it may not be. Sometimes price just doesn't get right to the top. So I think this could be just part of the channel. Maybe it's a bit of a spike in channel, possibly. But I still think there's a good chance this. What's that doing? Let's get. It's a good chance we're going to come down for a second leg. Let's put that there and put that about there. So eventually, once it gets so far down, I think it'll speed up a little bit. I think this will speed up in a minute. Oh, news has popped up there now. It disappeared earlier. 1 minute it's there. Next minute it disappears. Could even possibly be something like that, really. No, sleep. Yeah, I'm not sure about this NQ chart. It's just picking off some liquidity by the looks things out there. Probably some shorts there. That hasn't triggered that one, but that one has, so I won't be surprised if it breaks above there. Looking for 2 attempts to push up. It looks like it's working in this top tier to me. Yeah, so from tomorrow I'm just going to have to put my trades in, I know once in a while Penguin does scratch his trades, but 3 of the last 5 trades that I've taken all went on to work, so I think most of the time if it's a strong enough position it will do, so I think I'm still better off just putting my order in and just leaving it and letting it do its thing. If it works. If it doesn't, I think it's going to work more than it doesn't, so I still think it's worth doing. As I say, you know, I'd have been up $400 today instead of like 90 something dollars, so surprised this one. It gets so far down, pulls back. It doesn't seem to have that push I was kind of expecting. There's a possibility of something larger there. I don't know whether it is or not, to be honest with you. Channel break, new low, so 1, 2, maybe we get a triple test up here, channel down, 1 attempt to go higher, let's see. Still working just below, just above that midline. So channel down, 1 attempt to push higher, let's see what happens now. What time is it? Okay, got about 2 hours 40 minutes, so let's see what happens now. It's going slow now. Often worse, slow market. just zoom out and have another look here. This may be a spiking channel. We're touching a bunch of times there, touching there, touching there. It's working off that midline quite nice. It's not ideal, but I don't think it's a million miles out. Okay, leg down, 2 attempts to push higher. Let's see what happens here. Channel down, 2 attempts to push higher. At the moment, we're still above the EMA. Still quite more bullish than. Let's have a look. So 2 legs. Trouble is, there's always that possibility that if we go take this channel from the top of there, we've had a break, 2 pushes down to a new low. So perhaps a short here isn't quite the best idea at the moment anyway. And we have had 2 pushes up. Martin, how you doing, my friend? Glad to see we took again the same shake. Good on you, mates. I got out of that one for a tick and got out of that one for, I think, 7 ticks. But I'm kind of okay because I think it's more important that they worked. So that one for me, channel down, 2 clear pushes up. I like the way we have ticked above a bullish bar. It was a perfect measured leg, and I took it down here when we pushed below. So that one eventually, after 2 more attempts to go higher, did work. And that one is there, channel down there, 2 pushes higher. Kind of testing this top, big bearish bar, dropped straight down. It came down to about here, and I think I got out for just under 2 points. I don't know. But I think out of the last 1, 2, 3... out of the last 5 trades, I think 3 of them I've got out early, and I should have just left it, to be fair. But that's fine. It's all part of gaining that trust, isn't it? But and I marked 2 as well from Friday. The first one, I was at the bathroom at the time. In fact, if I grab it here, first one I was at the bathroom at the time. The second one, it moved that quick, I never got a chance to get in. But let me just have a look. It was ES, wasn't it? But what I like is, yeah, that was it there. What I like about it is Penguin marked them both. Not only did he mark them both, exactly the same ticks as well. I was at the bathroom then when we had that push, and this one, it pushed down, it just jumped over and dropped. So both of those trades, he took them, or marked them, took them, exactly the same ticks in exactly the same trade. So it's we've kind of got similar now, really, when you think about it. If you look at this trade here, channel down, 2 pushes up. It's very similar. Channel down, 2 pushes up. Bearish bar, push below the EMA. Same there, really. So kind of very similar. So I'm kind of pleased that I'm at least batting in the same ballpark anyway. That's the main thing. Also, a similar result today as my replicanto. Desynchronize, and I had to flatten. Oh dear me. I've got to say, so far I've never had a problem with rhythmic. I think replicanto. I think it's a brilliant bit of software. But yeah, these things can happen. I think it's just being aware what's going on and sort of jumping and doing something about it before it gets out of hand. Good on you, though, mate. Yeah, at least I don't mind that I got out of that one for a tick when it came back, I think, but it did work. So I think that the lesson of today is to just find my setup, commit, and then leave it. I know Penguin does get out the odd trade, but not many. But after 2 legs, I can't see why that would be okay. 2 more pushes and a push down and 2 more legs up as well, kind of confirming this line. Big bearish bar. So I'm pleased the way things are going anyway. It's definitely more relaxing than scalping for max. Definitely more relaxing because it keeps me out of the chop. We obviously wait for cleaner moves, and I like that. And then as opposed to just taking that bar there as a second entry short, so many times I've taken them in the past, they trigger you, push up and stop you out, whereas I wait for that push below the EMA and the close below the EMA. I think that's indicated, and there's a good chance then this thing is going to go down. So I like the way you wait for a little bit more confirmation. So I'm in a good place at the moment. I'm trading just 5 PA accounts at the moment. I got to say, after trading 20, 5's a breeze. There's just this is the only time I think I can remember trading PA accounts and not feeling any stress. And it's helping me going down to the 1 contract as well, and not trading 20 accounts. So I'm in a really good place at the moment. And I'm assuming if you can trade without fear, it goes a long way to be able to wait for good setups and not have that sort of stress get to you too much, where you're kind of scared to get into a trade. So things are good at the moment. But there's a lot of chop here. But it is readable. 2 clear legs, push down, clear attempts to push up, push down eventually below this, 2 more legs up, and then down we come, breaking any of these lows here. I mean, that one, for me, I've been looking on and off at this chart, this channel. There's definitely something working there. There's no argument there. We had a leg down there, a nice correction, 2 attempts to go higher and a drop. We had a pullback and made another attempt, big bearish bar. So that was, it worked nice, that. Unfortunately, I lost. I just wanted to get some points. So that's all right. I don't mind. So leg and a leg. What's going on here? In fact, you could even say a possible failed breakout there. Let's have a look. But I think I'm about done, really. I've been going on just under 3 hours now. That's about my limit usually. So, yeah, I think I'm going to knock on the head today, folks. So at least I'm up anyway. $100 per account, per 5 accounts. So that's good enough for me. I'm pleased with that. I'm thinking in the right direction. That's the main thing. Both work nice. But there you go. So look, I appreciate your comments. If you're carrying on trading, Martin, best of luck, mate. Same goes to everybody else. If you're carrying on trading, I hope you get. Volume is a bit low, and there is quite a lot of chop today. This is the way to go, exactly. Not to risk more than comfortable. Yeah, I've had that. One account, two account, one contract, two and I've tended to go for two contracts. Probably because I wanted to grow a little bit quicker. But when you trade a little bit less, that stress is. And at the end of the day, if you lower your size, at some point you're going to have that. It's going to tip in the way of the balance is going to tip. So whereas the nerves and the stress go, and you're going to be able to trade a lot more clearer. And I think I've found where suits me. And not only that, going for more points anyway. I mean, there's still a $225 trade there. In fact, a little bit more. And that's only on one contract. So you can still make plenty per account. You know, if I can make $400, $400 to $500 per week per account, that's a ton of money. You know, you multiply that by 10 or 20 accounts. You know, that's 4.5 points? You do that twice in a week. That's $500 near enough. So there's plenty of money to be made. You don't need to, do anything silly. But yeah, there you go. So look, best of luck, everyone. I'll talk to you soon, Martin. I hope you get some trades. It is a lot of choppy today, so from a Pat's point of view, there may not be a lot. Highlights, you had 10 accounts before. I remember, yes, I did, mate. I've got 5 now. I had to go through that process of earning them and losing them, I think. I know Wilson's lost, I think, 3 or 4 lots of 20 accounts. And it is part of it. You have to lose. And you have to learn and deal with those emotions. You've just got to go through it. It's impossible to learn to trade and not lose money. But look at Wilson now. He's firing on all 4 cylinders. He's doing really well, Wilson. I know he's had $15,000 last month. He's put 25. He's put in for $25,000. I mean, 25 and that's $40,000. That's 12 months' wages to some people. So I think he's been through the pain and the frustration, and at some point, those emotions cannot affect you the same way day in, day out. It's impossible. You can't do the same thing day in, day out and it affect you the same. You'll get used to it. It's inevitable. So trading 5 accounts for me now is not stressful in the slightest, and I think I can hold my hand on my heart and safely say this is the first time I'm trading with PAs where I'm not stressed. I think I've got the balance and the risk right. And because I've been to 20 and then to 10 and only down to 5 now, it's like anything, isn't it? If you've had bigger battles, the smaller ones don't feel nowhere near as bad. So there you go. I've rabbited on enough today. My apologies if I've done your head in. Some days I do have a bit of a chat. But there you go. So, look, best of luck. If you're carrying on trading today, I hope you get something. Failing that, have a great weekend. Have a great night, sorry. Tuesday tomorrow. It's all right. It's bank holiday in the weekend. It's bank holiday in the UK today, so I've got sort of holiday part of the weekend on. So I shall leave. I'll love you and leave you. So I'll be back tomorrow, same time. So best of luck. Have a great evening. Stay safe, and we'll talk tomorrow. Bye for now.